בשנת 2000 להיות חופשי בארצנו, היא ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים.
My name is Theresa McCarthy. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Theater, and I teach acting mainly. The course that I teach with Lori Weintrob is an introduction to acting. It's really kind of a theater-making class, and in that class we study a play of Tony Kushner, A Bright Room Called Day, and we worked on another play by Charlotte Delbo called Who Will Carry the Word, and we also our main project was to study survivor testimony from the Holocaust and recreate their delivery exactly, following their accent and the cadence of their speech and their movement patterns and their tone of voice, so that we could find out what it would feel like to live inside of that exact presentation of those words. One way to help deepen the experience is to work on something over a long period of time, and I hope that they understand that the rehearsal process, in order to fully understand it, is much longer than one would expect. But I think that it makes an impact, because when they do spend the time with it, they really they feel it. They actually feel the sensations in a beginning way that those real live people may have felt.
The way that we worked on the monologue is the same way that the great theater artist Anna Devere Smith creates her documentary pieces about real life people taken from interviews, and she strings it together into a piece that tells a larger story about a historical event. I think it's a very humble approach. I think it's respectful of the real life person whom they are portraying, and a kind of practice that will imprint the story on the individual speakers. So these students, many of whom have never acted before, don't even want to be actors necessarily. Many of them are acting for the first time through these real stories from real live people. And I think that it really has an effect. It gets inside.
The whole process altogether, it was a slow process, but it was a good process. We started with just learning like how one does replicate someone's actions, word for word, movement for movement, and we started with that, and then we moved on to picking people to study, and then studying what they did, and then we got it, putting it on its feet and working with it with our acting professor, and really just getting it to its final end product.
We all picked survivors from the Holocaust, and we watched their video testimony, and from their video testimony we picked a segment that we were going to copy and recreate as a monologue, but like word for word, action for action, like recreate as that person. My person was Rachel Gottlieb, and she was a survivor at Auschwitz. She has an amazing story of her survival. She has so many miracles that are the reason why she survived.
In Auschwitz, but in Auschwitz, the train, they were separate, the youngsters from the mothers, then from the children. So, who went straight in the crematorium? Who went left? The girls, the young ladies without children went the left. So I was holding my mother's hand, and then look, when we went down from the train, our car was the next. Our car, they didn't separate. In front they separate, few cars, but by us, where I was, did it. I didn't know that the girls had to go in another place, left. So I went straight with me, my mother, and my neighbors from home. we went straight, and I went already. I was already by the door in the crematorium. My mother went in already, and I give a look left, and I see all girls are going left. I said to my friend, her name was Suli, Suli, confess, take a look. We're not allowed to go with the mothers, they will beat us. Confess, we have to go where girls are going. So I catch the hand filled with trails, and we was running 2 blocks, and the whole 2 blocks left. The whole 2 blocks. It was soldiers in a line, and nobody stopped us. Nobody stopped. It's like inches. This was the first miracle I remain alive.
Collectively, the whole class had decided that we wanted to do a map or something on the stage, and we weren't sure if we were going to draw it out during the performance or what was going on. Myself and Anais, another student, this morning just chalked the whole thing out, used a little bit of measurements, but it was mostly a lot of freehand. And we were originally going to tape it as well, but then we all figured out where each of our individuals were from, our survivors, and we stood right practically in the town that they came from. And then when we went to go up to do our testimony, either before or after, we would put our candle down in the place where they lived.
Our performance today, which is the end of a whole semester of studying Nazi Germany and the Holocaust, in some ways takes inspiration from a quote from Elie Wiesel: "Whoever hears an eyewitness becomes an eyewitness." And so the idea is, to the extent there still are eyewitnesses and Holocaust survivors, we need to meet with them, we need to listen to their words, we need to remember their words. So 15 different survivors our students have studied. Each one has written papers, researched the history of the country, how the Holocaust happened, how it affected the life of that person from before the war to after the war.
What's so great about democracy? One is the jolly twinkle. Please, that's nauseating. I know you think I'm a reactionary for feeling this way, but I feel it anyway. I feel. Feel. So much feeling. Hold still. Think for a change. There's nothing to think about. There's plenty. Nothing pleasant. Unpleasant, then. We need apartments. We need apartments belonging to the people who are sympathetic. Who? The party. The party's been outlawed. As I was saying, we need apartments, way stations to the east, storage rooms for, okay, not for storage, way stations. There are people hiding. No, Agnes, people shouldn't be leaving. They should be staying. Everyone is going. People should be fighting. Who's gonna fight? What are people like me supposed to do if people like you just leave? Some of us are staying and some can't. Are you leaving? I can't say. You are. I knew you would. For God's sake, Annabella, what's gonna happen to us?
Hitler is a politician. He has to make this noise about anti-Semitism because actually what he wants to do is not kill Jews, the rabbi would say. His main purpose and objective is to fight Soviet Russia, which was creating a big danger for not only for Germany, but for the whole world.
My mother always made shulot for Shabbos, and of course they had chicken soup. And then she couldn't make it at home, so she brought it to the baker, because he was baking bread. So he put the whole pot of shulot in the oven. It was there from Friday afternoon till the next morning. So we used to run, pick it up Shabbos after shul. We used to go and get the pot and the shulot. And it was a funny part about it, because we were very, very sport-minded children, especially my brother, who was playing on the international team in Israel. So once we pick it up and we bring it home. Meanwhile, the friends called us to play soccer, so I put the pot down, and there's a gate, make-believe gate. And so one of the friends came and put the pot over, hit the ball, the pot. The ball hit the pot, and some of the shulot spilled out. And I was scared, so I put the shullet back to the pot and I brought it home. Then my father said to my mother, "How come you didn't select the beans? It's full of rocks." And we kept quiet. And I'm never going to forget that shullet. And it's one of the happiest memories of my life.
Line for selection, and we were naked. We had to put our clothes like here, and he was standing. He was a tall man, and we had to turn around. And my auntie said we used to make our cheek red to look better. And once we were standing and turning around, and he said, "Or left or right." And she was, "Don't be afraid." I was scared. And she was, "Don't be afraid. If they take you, I will go with you. Don't be afraid. Go straight. Pick up your head. Go straight."
We were standing in front, Helene and myself and many other women, and we were talking to Helene how horrible it is to be burned now, to be gassed, and we knew that time already. So I mentioned it to Helene. "Helene, we agree. We should not go together. Not to stay together. Not to see each other being kissed."
My mother was very sick. I was so sick I couldn't even walk. I crawled. My mother had diarrhea. I crawled on my floor to get something. We were freed already, but we were still in the dirt with the lice, and the lice were crawling all over. And I went to, they said raw potatoes would make her stomach stop.
Where did you get the raw potatoes?
That was already, we were freed already.
Can you tell us when it was? Do you
April-
remember the exact date of
April
liberation?
15th. April 15th. And this was probably the 16th, 17th, but I crawled, I couldn't walk.
Who liberated you?
I think they were the English. I'm not sure if it was the English or the American.
Did they give
I
you
think the English.
the day after liberation? Did they bring you any food?
That's what I said. They gave the wrong food.
Can you tell us what it was?
They gave canned food, beans with meat, everything we weren't supposed to eat because we were all hungry, starved. And people died from diarrhea very fast, like flies.
You think I know everything? All I know are facts. Life, death, truth. I returned for truth. For there, everything was true. Everything was stamped with truth, immortal truth. Clear and sharp without nuance or measure. Who could bear to face such cruelty in that truth? Close eyes forever? Or look on wide-eyed, wild-eyed? The light seared the eyes that dared to look. So why should I speak? For the things I would say to you could be of no use to you.
Thank you for hearing us, and thank you for carrying the word.
Shoah